There's also Tucson, Riverside, rolling into the 215 northbound Central. Right lanes blocked here, slowing down from Alessandro. Downtown LA, heading out to the 110 southbound before the 101. Stalled car, left lanes blocked, delays from Academy Road.
Joe Biden Johnson is welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gun.
Yo! I said what up? I said what up?
Yeah, yo, come on. At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us
What up?
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something.
Yo, what up?
And it happens on TV.
Everybody come in here. Hit the like button. Everybody come in here. Holla at your brother Zoe.
So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power.
Uncle Zodarius. What up?
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. So she's driving me insane, the stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night.
What up, Charles? Everybody hit that like button on your way in. Come on, let's get the algorithm popping. Let's go. Like it, like it, like it, like it. Eshu, bring us in. Open the way.
Suppose the speaker, when the speaker ends attachment completely, also, not to persons, to ideas, the whole process of attachment, with all the consequences of attachment. When there is an ending to it, that's totally different state of mind, right? Yeah. I have been attached to my furniture, to my, and that attachment has been a burden, and when the ending of that burden, there is freedom, right? So, ending is more important than beginning.
Ending the attachment is more important than the beginning. Krishnamurti, sorry. That's his name. Jiddu Krishnamurti. weekend before last, I actually was in Ojai, and I went to the Krishnamurti retreat, a cottage that was purchased for he and his brother in 1922. All of his effects are still there. They've turned their home into basically a museum. And I went to visit just for a day, just to see the library, to see where the legendary philosopher lived and worked. And it was amazing. And what he's talking about is so on point here. He says, at the end of attachment, there is freedom. Right? And that leads us to tonight's topic. See, attachment theory is what everybody wants to talk about, right? Everybody wants to talk about attachment theory. But I'm here to tell you, attachment theory isn't the begin-all, end-all of relationship discussion, right? We don't understand what relationship is actually for. Now, we can have a kinder word, right? Other than attachment, right? We can say bonding. But in a true bond with an individuated person, with a healed person, there is yet still freedom. Do you see? Many of us are unhealed, and the attachment yields suffering. This is what the great Krishnamurti was saying in that clip about how attachment will breed suffering. Well, Krishnamurti wasn't the first to say that. That is something that the Buddha spoke of. Attachment leads to suffering, right? Attached to your coping mechanisms. We call them copamine, right? Or hopamine, right? Attached leads to suffering. And relationships, and see, because this is where y'all got it twisted. It's how we have to bond and healthy bonding and this and that. No. The bond is to keep your spirit in place, whether it's uncomfortable or not. The bond is to keep your spirit in place until you grow up. The bond is the anchor. I know nobody's ever told you that, because nobody's teaching that. The bond is a spiritual gravitational force that holds you to a lesson. Why do you need to be held to a lesson? Because your natural proclivity is to run from that which is uncomfortable. That leads us to tonight's topic. Symbiotic neediness. Wired to be desired. Are you only comfortable with dating the needy? The needy will provide you with something that you refuse to cultivate within. The needy will give you validation, acknowledgement, approval. They'll even give you capitulation. They'll give you whatever you want so as to not lose you. Do you seek out the needy person because you want to feel like the bigger person? Listen, 1-800-920-1580. Do you seek out the needy person so you can feel like a bigger person? Are men socially conditioned to be anxious, preoccupied? When a man feels like a woman doesn't need him, 1-800-920-1580. Who wants to talk about it? I want to know, what truly distinguishes neediness from codependency? While narcissism manifests across a wide range of behaviors and relational patterns, its opposite, i.e., mirror, codependency, operates on an equally complex spectrum. How can we discern if our appeals for intimacy are simply expressions of momentary need or signals of deep-rooted codependency? I just need a hug right now. I don't need you to hug my inner child. I just want a hug from you now. What's the difference between neediness and deep-rooted codependency? Is a longing, ever a clinginess, ever justifiable? Like, is longing and clinging, is it ever justifiable? Or does it always hint at unresolved inner conflicts? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Do you feel like the person doesn't want you, doesn't care about you, if they are not pining for you in some way? Thank you for the word, Nzinga. Consider what it means if you repeatedly date partners who exhibit desperate clinginess. Perhaps your attraction to such dynamics reflects more than a mere preference. It may indicate an unconscious avoidance of confronting your own hidden truths. A secure partner, one unburdened by constant neediness, might challenge you to face these inner realities. Many people don't like to be challenged in their intimate relationships by their partner. Who are you to tell me what I need to work on? The person living in this thing with you? In doing so, you might be forced to acknowledge aspects of your own identity that remain unhealed or unexplored. On tonight's Voice of Reason episode, I invite you all to re-examine the very foundations of your relational behaviors. I'm asking you, are you simply fulfilling a desire to be desired, or are you trapped in a self-sabotaging cycle that leans on validation as a substitute for true self-worth? Somebody got to make you feel like you're worth something. Are you clinging? Are you thirsty for worthiness? Somebody, I don't know who I'm talking to this evening. Are you thirsty for worthiness? You don't know how to develop it from within, so you incessantly seek it externally. You're performing, you're tap dancing, you're soft shoeing, you're doing it all so you can be acknowledged. You need somebody in a bad space so you can be uplifted. Very interesting tonight. We're delving deep into this inquiry. We're going to ask you whether your emotional patterns stem from an honest need for connection or a deeper, maybe perhaps even unconscious deferral of inner transformation. In essence, if you continually gravitate towards partners who exude neediness, it might be a reflection of your own internal landscape, an area fraught with unrecognized, unrequited, unacknowledged fears, insecurities, and an avoidance of a more profound personal kind of accountability. This dynamic sets up a confrontation. Your yearning for closeness might be shielding you from the discomfort of confronting your authentic self, while also inviting relational conflicts that undermine the possibility of mutual growth. You don't know you're needy when you say all you got to do is act right. If you would just act right, I'd be good. That's needy. The very demand that somebody should show up acting right. I know you don't look at it that way. I know. Them acting right is the counterbalance to you not acting right for you, for yourself. Ah, no, you don't want to hear it. Oh, I know you don't want to hear it put this way. Oh, yeah. Could what we label as needy also be seen as an echo of a deeper silent cry for healing? And if so, how might we reframe our understanding to move beyond superficial labels, creating space for authentic vulnerability and true connection? How do we do it? Ultimately, on tonight's Voice of Reason, this exploration will urge a radical rethinking of relational dynamics. I contend that the patterns we observe in our relationships are not merely attraction or repulsion. They are reflections of our inner state. And sometimes our inner state is a complete mess, while our external state is in pristine condition. When we lean into the discomfort of our own neediness, a vulnerability many shy away from, we open the door to a more integrated self. In contrast, persistently escaping the inner work through the familiar, yet destructive lure of codependent dynamics only reinforces the distance between who we are and who we could become in a more secure and balanced relationship. I know the framing tonight is a bit provocative, but I'm here to challenge us to see that the real battle lies not in labeling behaviors as needy or codependent, but in understanding what these patterns reveal about our inner life. In doing so, we might just uncover the transformative potential to break free from the cycle of self-validation and step into a space where vulnerability and authenticity lead to a deeper, more satisfying connection with others. Let me tell you something. When you heal, you don't need much from others. When you start the healing process, you start to find out that what you expected of others is not as important as what you should expect from yourself. But see, not only expecting from yourself, but actually learning ways to give to yourself what you expect from others is the purpose of relating. And it is the pathway to growth. So many of us are so far down the rabbit hole of expectations. I posit tonight that toxic, copamine-filled expectations are an extension of neediness. They are an extension of scarcity. They are an extension of self-avoidant behavior. You never thought to look into yourself, to cultivate it for yourself. You've only been conditioned to look outside you. When we come forward, if you think I'm done frying this fish, man, you better get a plate. Pull up.
Relationships. Straight talk. This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask.
Call me.
The answers you need to hear. You're inside
Get on the phone.
with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk.
Call me. I see you, John. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like. Thank you. Thank you.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its fourth.
Attila wrote the original synopsis, and then I remixed it for Attila.
But here we are.
Attila, you like my remix?
Serving our people as best we can. To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have
Attila, did you like the remix? I think I saw you acknowledge it. Everybody hit that like button. It is free. It is free to like this show. The framing was A1. Thank you. Look, smokerini, scracagacci. Free to hit the like button, guys. Let's like it. King Joseph, what up? Shit was fire. Good word as always. Hey, that's how I want to start it. Possibly. It is really good to see you're happy again, more. Way to overcome a storm, bro. Hey, I'm gonna do what I gotta do every single time. You can't kill me. I'm an immortal. But I can allow you to hurt me. Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. There's 10 people in here who haven't hit the like button. Hit it right now. If you want to support the channel, there's multiple ways to do it. You can hit the super chat, which is the $ down at the bottom. Give whatever you can. I know it's toward the end of the month. Give whatever you can. Please support, support, support. Please. Or you can go to my Cash App, $ZoWhatNetter. Any support you can give tonight, we'd appreciate it. Seven more people, hit that like button. Only 7 more likes. You guys can call in and share your thoughts. Here we go. Y'all gonna love the playlist.
How do we end up with this place that we live in that has so many gaps in community if men were seeing community? Every system is perfectly designed for the result it's currently getting. Ooh. And we have gotten a system built by men who saw the world through their own lens and prioritized their own needs and not the global community. Ooh. Somebody says, I need to feel needed. They are only seeing themselves.
I have a follow-up question on that subject. Did you ever feel like there was a time that you felt like you needed to be needed?
Oh,
like
yeah.
It seems like knowing you for as long as I've known you, that was a season of your life where you didn't realize you were wantable.
That's
you could be wanted.
Not for who I really am. I think a lot of men think that they might be wanted for what they can offer.
Ooh.
But again, this is a narrative and a myth cycled by men to other men about both what is desirable and what is necessary. Because we never listen to women. You're missing for half the population's insight on what is valuable. You're gonna miss some really key things. I thought to be a man meant that you needed to be needed.
Right. You don't have to be a well-resourced person to be able to offer the world something. As a woman, most of my life, of a great period of my life, I wish I was less needed. It never occurs to me to think, I hope somebody needs me. I've always felt like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I wish I was needed less.
So that's key, though, because I think from a man's perspective, whether we know it or not, our version of being needed is connected to transaction that we will then get comfort. I need an opportunity to prove my worth, to then earn the thing I really want, which is belonging.
Which is a transaction.
Yes,
it's a
but we
completely
don't,
transactional way of looking at the world.
We don't know how to connect with our emotions. We don't know how to be vulnerable. Of our own wound, we want to be comforted.
In the name of sweet baby Ray's barbecue sauce, they said a word, did they not? Transactional neediness. I need you to need me, right? And I'll provide you with everything, so long as you make me feel valued, appreciated, seen. Do you see what the gender roles have done to masculinity and femininity? We're at a point now where masculine and femininity are transactional both ways, bidirectionally. Oh, how so, Zoe? Women are now at the point where they want to sell you, right? What? Yeah, they want to sell you the feminine wiles, the nurturing, the empathy, the care, the attention, the focus, right? You want to be needed? I will sell it to you for security. That's the transaction. I'll nurture you if you secure me. We live in a society of toxic liars. You think by participating in this transactional exchange that you're going to heal? You say, well, wait a minute, Zoe, you mentioned the gender roles. You get back to that. Simply put, the gender roles don't speak about individuation. They don't speak to individuation. Many people have never heard the term individuation until they go to a therapist, right? You have to become a whole person. These are two halflings expecting each other to answer each other's needs. And I'm trying to tell you, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being in a relationship where we tend to each other's needs, but we should not be addicted to the behavior. Clingy dependency versus claustrophobic autonomy. Let's explore how anxious, preoccupied individuals restlessly seek validation or relentlessly seek validation, while dismissive avoidance defensively retreat from intimacy. Question. We have to question the paradox of vulnerability. Does our intrinsic need to belong come at a cost of self-sovereignty? Is that what we're paying for? Consider nonlinear energetic flows between each other. How this interplay of intense desire and retreat has been seen as complementary cosmic forces. We are mirroring each other. We run away from each other and we run to each. Why is that the case? When I come forward, the voice of reason is going to continue cooking up this fish fry. Get up in here, get your plate. It's going down. Hey, Brother John, I'm coming. Yes, sir. Can't be masculine when your pants are tighter than your shirt. Wow. Tired of being strong. I want to rest in femininity, but I don't want to sell it. D, thank you. Watching from Wimbledon, London. You have taught me so much. Seriously, appreciate you, big bro. Keep shining. Hey, man. D, thank you. I appreciate it. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole.
Hey, what up, everybody? How was your Memorial Day weekend? Mine was cool. Hung out with the homies. You know, like I said, this weekend, you know, of course, birthday weekend, whatever. We went on this little tour of cigar lounges in San Diego. It was hella cool. Went to some black-owned ones. It was super dope. And, man, it was like a field trip. And we was like 15 deep. We turned the bus. We were on a Sprinter. We turned the Sprinter ride. The Sprinter ride's an hour and a half. We turned that into like a comedy show because we was in there clowning all the way down to San Diego and back. I mean, it was just a day of laughter. It was dope. Pretty Brown Mimi, why don't you just call in and talk to me tonight? Mine, Zinga, it was fly. It was super fly. It was super fly. West Side. No, I'm serious. Why don't you call in and we could talk seriously for once? Let's talk. I was amongst the people. And we didn't get back, man. We didn't get back till late. Then we ended at our home cigar lounge. And that was cool. You know, it was dope. Yeah, it was dope.
Featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy.
Like, we got like 9:45.
Transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship
Well,
choices.
our lounge closes at midnight. We were there from like 10 till midnight.
Live, and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
Yeah, you turned up.
almost nothing more detrimental to a man than knowing that he's not needed, right? A man wants to contribute. You used the word service before. I would use the word contribute. A man feels purpose through his capacity to contribute to his partner, to his children, to his friends, to his family, to his community, to the world, etc. So when you get into a relationship with a man, if you're operating from that place of I don't need you, it's going to come through your behaviors, through your actions. And that narrative, that story is likely what pushes men away who want to lead.
Very interesting. I'm going to say it again. If the service is transactional, the relational environment is a type of prostitution. Service is supposed to be bidirectional and organic. You've heard me talk about organic reciprocity. First off, most of us don't understand that our form of reciprocity in many relationships is transactional. Why else did we come up with the term, I didn't sign up for this? Huh? You guys know I like to take us on, a spiritual, ride, right? So here's the piece. In Sanskrit, in the Hindu belief systems, they have a term. The term is Siva or Siva, right? In Sanskrit. It is the concept of performing selfless service without expecting any reward. It is an extremely important practice in Hinduism and Sikhism. Siva literally means selfless service. Listen, it's not selfless if you got a checklist of expectations that need to be checked off. Now, and I want to listen, because some people will say, "Oh, so you're too far, and that's too extreme." What I'm saying is, if the basis of your relationships hang on what you get, if there's not a selflessness and organic free flowing between the two of you, it's a type of prostitution. It's cop and blow. That's what it is. And nobody wants to hear it put that way. You'd be better off saying, I love what you do for me. Not, I love you. I love what you provide. You'd be better off saying that. See, I'm trying to elevate the thought process. This is why people don't believe in love. This is why people think it's a fantasy or it's some type of plaything. Siva or Siva in Sanskrit, the concept of performing selfless service without expecting any reward. We get into a relationship thinking that's where our rewards will come from. Now, part of that is true. Being exposed as clingy or anxious preoccupied. Being exposed that you have a worthiness wound or you fear intimacy. That is the reward. Do you see? Examine how anxious preoccupied's clingy behavior may serve as an unconscious self-therapy, a form of unconscious self-therapy to mend deep-seated insecurities. All they have to do is be triggered. All right? Are you guys ready for tonight? Let's get these callers in here. We got John from Mountain View, Hawaii. John, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Greetings and blessings, chat. Those on the sound of my voice, blessings to Yuzo, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Let's get to the dirt.
Let's get to the dirt. Here we go. Whenever you start like that, I know you're about to cook. Let me get out your way. Go ahead.
If you are looking for the immunity
Ooh.
of not being in the courtroom that tells you yourself, to yourself, by yourself, the truth you need to hear, and you're still running, you can't avoid the courtroom.
Come on. I'm sitting right here. Let's go. Keep throwing. He's almost off his feet. Keep going.
No limitations. I'm not going at nobody. I'm just saying. If you're trying to avoid you, you can't.
Right. Right.
If the relationship you really want to have outside of you has yet to take place inside of you,
okay.
What do you do?
Playing.
And if we're going to continue to avoid it,
right.
if we're going to continue to play this game,
right.
if we're going to continue to do the things that we do, expect what you get.
No, but you know people think they can cheat the system. That's what the mask is for. If I wear the mask, I think that, guess what? You don't see me. You won't feel me. You won't feel the real me. The real me will never be exposed because I'm going to always be on guard, manicuring, protecting, and projecting this mask. And as long as I keep up the charade, right, I can never be found out. Come on, prove me wrong. Let's go. I threw that for you. That's an alley-oop.
I'm on an island. I pay attention to my own business. I handle my own things, and I do the work that I need to for myself, by myself, with myself. How does that bother you?
Keep going. I'm listening.
How does that bother you?
It don't bother me at all.
Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, you have something in the back of your head. Allow me to get this piece of lint, if you would, please.
Right?
Ma'am, I just hold this door open for you. Whether you said anything or not, the door is still held open, ma'am. Why does that bother you? I don't know your pronouns, not expecting to know your pronouns. And where's the book that I could read so I could understand that? Why does that bother you? I drive a car on a highway that everybody got to drive. You have your license, you earn the right to get. Why does me driving 3 miles over the speed limit bother you?
Keep going. I'm listening.
There's nothing else to complain about but what you're complaining about. And still, there's work that needs to be done, and it's you.
It's
Not
you.
me. It's you.
It's you. Hey, John, you already know what I'm going to say. Guess what? You over here cutting up. Hey, it's you. You the issue. Right? But do you know how difficult, I'm going to throw it back to you, John. You know how difficult that is for people to acknowledge and accept the fact that they're the issue? Sure, things do happen to us. But guess what? A lot of things happen to us with our participation, because of our participation. Talk to me, John. Why can't they look at themselves as part of the problem, part of the reality they don't want to continue to experience? Why is it always someone else's issue, someone else's fault?
I don't want to explain to you why. I want to be your friend right now. I want to show you the mirror and be the friend that you need. Work at it.
They don't want to do that.
Work at it. You worked on that job, and you worked for that degree to tell me how much of a doctor you are and tell me how much of a man I'm not.
Hey, no. You're here to make me comfortable, sir. You're here to provide security.
I'm here to make you comfortable? If I'm here to make you security, I've done all that. It's called 20 years of service in the military. It's called another additional 20 years of service in the military, serving those who serve the military, protecting you.
Right. Right.
So again, I think I've done my duty, and my responsibility is to make sure you have a choice.
To make sure you're okay to go to Whole Foods and pick up some eggs. Keep going.
You got a choice, and then you're telling me it's my fault still? It's me.
Oh, John,
Work on yourself.
guess what you just did, sir? Detonation. You detonated on this one, brother. Hey, we appreciate you, man. You brought your city in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call your brother Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, I think we're going to go back to the phone lines. Hey, what's up? Y'all calling in? Pretty Brown Mimi, you said you was going to call in. The entire range is fire. Yes. Yes, it is. Who was the last person that hit that super chat? I want to say thank you. James. What up? Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, James. A speaker of truth has no friends. Yeah. What up, Davey Lee? Ghetto Gourmet is in the house. Glad to see my brother back in here. Which song is that? Nzinga?
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance.
What song is it in Nzinga?
Community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system.
Diamond Blue, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Becoming a hub for artists and innovators.
Nothing in life is guaranteed.
Access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about
Andy
building a future where we all
and
have a
Dizzle.
chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission.
Can you find Chico DeBarge? Nothing in life is guaranteed.
Action from KBLA Talk 1580.
He said the whole DeBarge family are felons. We had an extended weekend. You guys had a break. Y'all had a nice, what was it? 4-day break. From Thursday to Monday. I need y'all to get active. Get on these phone lines and let's have some real conversations. Can we do that? What cities y'all in? What cities are y'all in? Hey, John, you good, brother. You always good with me. Long Island.
You say you want love, but tell me honestly, is it love you really want, or is it to feel chosen by someone?
Ooh.
Because there is a huge difference between loving and wanting to be loved. Most people who say they seek love are actually thirsty for validation. They want someone from the outside to prove what they cannot sustain on their own,
Ooh.
their own worth. They want to be seen, admired, desired, not because it strengthens the bond, but because it silences the insecurity that screams inside their chest. Erich Fromm, in The Art of Loving, got straight to the point. Most do not seek to love. They seek to be loved. Because being loved seems easier, more comfortable. Loving requires effort, discipline, commitment. Being loved seems like a gift that solves everything. If someone loves me, then I am important. Then I deserve to exist. And this is where the illusion begins. You don't want love. You want the feeling that you are finally enough. That someone looked at you and said, with their gaze or touch, you are worth it. Because deep down, you don't believe that on your own. Your desire for love is not about sharing. It's about filling. Filling that internal void that no one sees, but that you feel every day. A void that may have started in childhood, perhaps with rejection, abandonment, or simply from never being taught to see yourself as someone worthy of love without having to prove anything to anyone. So you grew up believing you need to be chosen to have value, that you need to be desired to be relevant. And every time someone chooses you, you feel, for a brief moment, that everything is okay, that the emptiness has disappeared. But it always comes back, doesn't it? Fromm called this immature love. It's that love that arises from the need for fusion, that urgency to merge with someone because you cannot stand being with yourself. It's not desire, it's dependency. It's not connection, it's emotional addiction. And the worst part, the culture we live in feeds this. It teaches you to look for someone to complete you, someone to save you, someone to give meaning to your existence. But that is a lie sold as romance. True love does not happen when someone chooses you. It can only be born when you stop needing to be chosen. If you've made it this far, it's because on some level, you feel this. You feel that something is wrong with the way you relate. You feel that there is something in you that still waits to be validated by someone from the outside. And maybe you are tired. Tired of begging for attention, of losing yourself trying to be what others want, of clinging to the slightest display of affection as if it were all you have. But let me tell you one thing. This video is not to comfort you. It's to awaken you. Because as long as you don't see the root of your emptiness, you will continue to call neediness love and dependency connection. And that only destroys you from within.
The choice is you. The choice has always been you. Here's the thing. If we don't get back to the original purpose that the temple of relating initially offered us, the temple of relating, what is the temple of relationships? It offered us an opportunity, right, to see ourselves as we are. Not as the person we would like others to see us as. Relationship, the temple of relationships, offer us an opportunity to break free from conditioning. Really, relationships are freedom-creating machines or prisons, right? It is what you make it in that sense. The conditioning can become comfortable, a comfortable prison, right? Many of us choose a toxic, familiar situation over a healthy, unfamiliar situation, just because we don't know. I'm trying to get you to realize toxicity, or excuse, the term I'm looking for here, it's aligning with scarcity, right? This, as the video said, thirst, right? Looking for someone to validate you. So let's talk about it. Are you only worth something to yourself when someone wants you? That's a question that must be dealt with. Are you only worth something to yourself when someone else wants you? Right? Does your spirit awaken when you're wanted? And does it darken when you feel as if you are unwanted? Now, I'm not saying that isn't a natural response to not being wanted, but this goes back to the deep-seated issue of it. Why you chase, why you're clingy, and as soon as you get a little bit of what you didn't get, right, you try to hold on to it for dear life. I'm asking, because I really want to hear people talk about it before they go into their next situation, right? Or situationship. Breaking free of conditioning, rewriting self-worth narratives. Dissect the cycle of insecure self-esteem and compulsive validation that underlies both neediness and codependency. Challenge culturally imposed ideas of worth by replacing them with a deeper inquiry into the nature of genuine self-value. So, is being needy synonymous with self-avoidance? When we come forward, we're going to find out. You calling or are you waiting? Big facts, family. Bobby Caldwell. What you won't do, do for love. Ooh. There is an element of need for many who are so-called looters. Food tapped in. I need that. I need you on the air, tapped in. You got to give me that. Love yourself. Enjoy the benefits side of the game. Being married. Hold on, Davy Lee. Being married don't make you a real woman. Ooh. Why aren't y'all calling in? Y'all all cooking. I want to talk to people today. I don't want to just talk at y'all.
Your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate?
You never call in, Ida, so that's cool. You don't even have to respond, Ida. We know you're not calling in.
Are they worth the wait? Trust me, they're gonna be crazy.
How about the child wasn't needed, and you still had to pay child support?
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's
That's crazy to me.
Daddy's
Always responding, but never calling. Just, you don't even have to respond.
How does he maintain his pomposity? He likes it when it's pimping the nip. Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
How do you make women so well? So William. Reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
These two curves, this one and this one, are way more common. So the main thing to really understand is, what are you trying to get out of this relationship? Because I think oftentimes what happens is, if you're like complimenting a girl, like, are you like, that's kind of interesting, right? Are you like, what are you doing there? So generally speaking, I don't really compliment people that I have relationships with. I may appreciate them from time to time, but I don't like open up with a bunch of compliments. Because usually like that signals something else. Are you like, so you have to start by figuring out what is going on within you. So when you're texting someone for hours, like why are you texting them for hours? Are you genuinely enjoying the interaction? Are you hopeful that this will turn into something? Are you just genuine, like are you just kind of chilling and having a good time? Because if you're chilling and having a good time, then it shouldn't really matter to you that things kind of fizzle out over time, right? Like it shouldn't matter because you're just appreciating the moment, and the moment isn't going to last forever. So if I'm like walking down the street and I see a beautiful flower and I smell the flower and I'm like, wow, that flower is amazing, and then I just move on with my life. So if this is truly what you're doing, then it shouldn't bother you that the next day they don't text, right? Because you can just appreciate the interaction and move on. But chances are you're hopeful or you're attaching some kind of expectation. And this is the key thing to understand. Because when you attach an expectation, oftentimes done subconsciously, like you're kind of lonely, you're kind of interested in this person, you do want to ask them out, and you start complimenting them, and like you're kind of like gearing up to ask them out, and you want them to like you, you're kind of like love bombing them a little bit, right? You're trying to stack the deck in your favor. You're creating an expectation. And if you're not transparent with that expectation, if you're not transparent with that intention, what it's probably going to lead to is like some kind of miscommunication over time, because you're saying one, like you're doing one thing, you're intending one thing.
Listen, I'm going to drop a bomb on you. This is the second hour. I'm going to the phone lines, but I'm going to drop a bomb on you. I want everybody to listen to this. I want to see this all over Instagram. Y'all get ready to meme this. Could the real marriage, get ready. I need the church organs. Could the real nuptials, could the real relationship, oh my God. Could the real marriage be individuation? Sometimes you gotta be married before you get married. See, you want to go get married as a means to be your better half, right? Oh, somebody's going to come in and fix me. Somebody going to come in and supplement me. But maybe, just maybe, the real marriage is individuation. The marriage of self. Becoming whole. Is that not the symbology surrounding marriage? The ring, 360 degrees, represents the union of the two people. Right? Huh? Maybe the real marriage is individuation, where you merge your shadow, right, with your mask, where you become a whole person. Too many broken people are jumping the broom, thinking because they jumped the broom ceremonially, right, in a ceremony, right, thinking because they jumped the broom that they're somehow whole. No, you're two broken people, still cutting each other with the sharpened edges of your soul. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but that's how you were taught to relate. You know nothing about the University of You, which is intimate relationship. You know nothing about the holographic relationship. You know nothing about the holographic mirrored environment that intimate relationships provide to you. Intimate relationships provide this holographic mirrored environment so you can see yourself, claim yourself, and heal yourself. So maybe before you seek to get married to a person, maybe, just maybe, you might want to marry yourself. You might want to be in union with yourself. Union, communion, one with yourself. What Counterintuitive dynamics occur when an individual's history of trauma becomes the gravitational force that pulls them towards codependent relationships. Y'all want to play with relationships. Y'all want to play on social media. Y'all want to be entertained. This is what Krishnamurti talked about, being broken, empty, shoddy, disheveled people. Because we spend 98% of our time running away from the important work. Do you know how many people out there would rather be married, get divorced, only to turn around and say, well, at least I did it. Ooh, at least I did it. That's like saying, at least, well, you know, I used to own a Mercedes Benz. I can't afford it no more, but at least I had one. In what ways might the pursuit of a clingy relationship challenge our understanding of resilience, forcing us to reevaluate what true strength entails? How does one reconcile the paradox that love, in its most profound form, requires both of us to surrender to need and the courage to embrace solitude? Right? I want to know. We're talking about clinginess and neediness. And what's the difference between that and codependence? We got callers on the line. I want to get them on right now. I don't want nobody wait. Nikki from the SIP. She's been on the longest. Nikki, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Hey, 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 hey. Oh, Lord, it's so good to have Deaconess Nikki in the voice of reason. We're going to sit back and let you have the floor. Go on ahead and cook.
Well, just some food for thought and listening. The term relationship looters came up.
Oh, Lord.
Often that term looter to me is used to unaffectionately describe people who might be in otherwise less than desirable circumstances. Because often when we see the term looter being utilized, it's happening to happening with disenfranchised people who are experiencing some level of need already. That is not a justification for theft that I'm making. I'm simply pointing out that if you are in a desolate, black, scarcity position, and your outward conditions are challenging, you may be more inclined to loot from your relationships what it is that you are in scarcity of.
Oh, no, don't do us like that. We came into the relationship to loot.
Perhaps.
Oh, my goodness, that hurt. Keep going. Keep going.
Perhaps. Well, society describes people looting, shows us people looting, in my experience, in less than desirable circumstances, like Hurricane Katrina, for instance. But it doesn't talk to us about why are they doing that. It's not because inherently they're angry at that point. Their circumstances outwardly were such dire circumstances that for some of them it pressed them inwardly to commit an act that they ordinarily would not have done.
Yes.
I'm not making an excuse for the people who would have and stole sneakers anyway. but maybe some of them didn't have fuse because they floated away.
Right. Right.
So if we say codependency, right? Because I mean, if I'm in a looting circumstance in this world because I didn't come from an environment of secure people, or I've not been exposed to secure people.
Early childhood, whatever that is, early childhood
Whatever
issues.
that is.
Yes, whatever
Right.
that is.
That's beyond socioeconomics. Okay. So I'm suggesting that perhaps, maybe, you're already in a deficit rooting position. So to be able to recognize, since we can't do the mirror because that's hard and it requires work, but you also have to have some sense of awareness, some kind of self-awareness, internal lights going off, red flags, seeing women in red dresses in the Matrix.
Right.
If you are already internally, because of something that happened or did not happen, you're rooting from you.
Wait, hold on, because you just opened up a whole can, and I don't know if these people understand. Are you telling me, and please, Deaconess, correct me, just like in Christianity, we are all born in sin. But if we are born in a dysfunctional family, are we also born looters?
Yeah.
Ooh, go ahead.
We're not, especially, I'll just go with the Christianity because you know why.
Come on, let's do it.
If you don't, we could fix what's wrong with us as a society today, but we gotta want it bad enough.
Ooh, okay. I'm rocking right with you. We gotta want to heal the relationship looter in us. Come on, keep going.
You got to want that bad enough. If you know you live in a flood zone, but economically in your mind you do the math and say it's cheaper for me to stay here because my rent is little, but you have not calculated the cost that every time you have a flood, you have to replace everything. And every time that happens, you have to remove yourself and your family every time. And what that takes from you. Because already on the inside of you is looting you.
Wow.
Because you don't want bad enough to not be in that place. Because anybody or everybody or what religion has taught you in terms of your experience has taught you that it's okay for you to be there.
So it's your norm now, whether it's toxic or not, whether it's limited, broken, whatever. This is what I'm used to. I'm familiar with it. Keep going.
And you continue to pass that on generation after generation after generation to those people who don't believe in the generational curse. It's okay. We can say that if that's what you want to, but it keeps occurring generation after generation. Because there wasn't. So when you get in this room we in together. In this family, we in together for real. And you trying to work on that mirror and that shadow.
Right.
That self-realization of not the pointing the finger outward, but to take a minute and say, wait a minute, I'm losing me now. My sense of value from me. The biblical definition, whichever religion you serve, of marriage, that is a covenantal relationship. First. So how is it then that, especially in the Deep South, I've always thought that was interesting. You say you have this relationship with Christ, but yet you don't value you.
Ooh. Wait a minute.
I'm sorry?
No, you cooking right now. Keep going.
The first relationship, well, Why do you love God? Because he loved me first. Would that not be your first example of value? And I'm just saying.
Wait, stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Don't go anywhere. Nikki from the SIP, I want you to think very long and hard. Marriage is a covenantal relationship. She said it's a covenant-based relationship. Should we have a covenant with ourselves before? Wait, stop, don't answer. When we come forward, we going back to the SIP. Missy, hey, listen. Nikki from the SIP is on complete fire right now. Y'all better get this good game.
Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Phil Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Not when it's this rich, third eye. It's rich. Ooh, from the get-go. Come on. Yes, let people be. I love all my folks, but come on now. This shit good as hell. This is rich. You have no idea how many people pull me on the street when they see me somewhere. They be like, yo, Nikki from the SIP. They know everybody who calls in by name. I will eat a whole cheesecake, third eye. Don't get it twisted. We love you back, Zoemeister. It's appreciated for sure. Hey, D back up in here. And D dropping euros, y'all. That first $19.99 showed up as $27. That's euros. Then he dropped another $9.99. We appreciate it. Thank you. And listen, if you guys are enjoying the content, please support. International currency. King Joseph, what up, fam? I didn't see the city roll call. Let's see if we could get as many. I want to shout out as many cities as I can. Who is in here? I know Compton's in the house. I know Houston's in the house. I know Mountain View, Hawaii's in the house. I know Battle Creek, Michigan is in the house. Memphis is in the house. Yeah. I know Dallas is in the house. Pensacola is in the house. Jacksonville, Florida is in the house. North Carolina is in the house. Nebula 11. Birmingham, Alabama. Hampton, VA.
We're going to be angry. You said no, and I risked it anyway.
You know, as an anxious person, how you can make it right.
Yes.
So that you can ultimately get away with it.
Yes. This is the ultimate guilt trip when you're giving and giving and giving.
So there's an expectation.
Yes, of course there's an expectation. There's always an expectation. You have this ideal image. When you fall in love, this person is everything you want them to be. It puts that into question. So the way it works is like we know we can get away with it and we know how to sell it. When you're with someone who's always afraid of commitment, then it's safe for you to want commitment.
There is a greater cause or reason of some kind to override that boundary.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
No.
Do anxious people take advantage of that?
Man, oh man, Shevitz. Woo, the voice of reason is on fire tonight. Complete fire. I love it. I love it. I love it. Nikki from the SIP was in the middle of a bonfire, right? A firestorm of wisdom. I so appreciate her calling in and taking the time to share. I want to get her back in here because I want her to drill down on the concept we were unpacking, right? And that is the self-covenant. What does a self-covenant look like? And why should we enter into a self-covenant before we enter into a marital covenant with an external partner? Why is it so important to have a self-covenant beforehand? Go ahead.
The self-covenant, it sets up everything else. We keep saying to each other that you have to, all this manifesting we do in our society, you have to be the thing you're trying to manifest. I am a terrible girlfriend. Terrible. I learned that I'm a terrible girlfriend because I'm a great wife.
Ooh. Yeah, come on.
That's different. That's where the contract, the covenantal contract started for me. As a kid in a household who saw the covenantal contract. See, sometimes in our society, particularly with young women, you keep doing girlfriend stuff when you get married. Or you do it the other way. Before you get to, because you want him to be his wife.
Right.
Well, you dating, you can't do wife stuff if you dating. Because she don't keep letting you do all that because it's wonderful, I'm told. Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Nikki. Go ahead.
When you get your covenant together, and see, the other thing that's so important right now in our society, if you get your covenant, your internal covenant with you and the God you serve right, it will help to dispel what society tells you it's supposed to be. Whatever church, whatever minister.
Transcend all of that. Transcend all of that.
Because you're not going to get through this life on what mama knows relationship did. You're going to have to stand in the river for yourself at a point.
Mm-hmm.
With your own walk, with your own God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you can nurture that relationship first, see, it's not about the rings. It goes back to when it was just a cut in your hand and they put that ribbon around your wrist and y'all bled together right there. It was designed for you all to stay together the whole way with that blood covenant.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you get divorced in some religions, you still married.
Right.
So, but if you don't work on the internal part, it makes it harder for you to hit that tennis ball back when you get fed stuff in whatever church you serve that may not actually line up with what the Lord said, whatever Lord you serve.
Nikki.
And so then you get indoctrinated.
Uh-huh.
And deviate from your covenantal relationship. When I was little, my dad said, listen, you're going to read these instructions, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. When you put this table together, if it don't look like a table, go back to 1. To this day, I'm still right there. If I don't get the result that I'm expecting to get, I'm going back to 1 and come again.
Nikki, stay right there. I'm sorry. I can't let you go. When we come forward, we're going to wrap it up with Nikki from the SIP, because when I tell you she putting together a whole puzzle right now. Nikki is cooking. Master Chef. Master Chef. Where the fish at? Table has been set at Tapped In, no doubt. She cooking. I love us. I want us to learn. Listen. I know where the wisdom is. That's why I encourage you and others to call in. I don't know if y'all know how important and how big of a deal it is to put your voice across the nation on the air. So many people listening from so many different. Listen, we are already for the month of May. We're nearing 25,000 downloads. This show, The Voice of Reason, for the month of May, 25,000 downloads on all of these platforms, right? Whether it's Apple, Spotify, people are hearing y'all. People are identifying with y'all. I don't think y'all understand. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Plus, or Play, or whatever. Like, and people are inspired by what you're saying. Right? There are a lot of people in radio that would just talk. They don't want to open up that lane for other people to talk. But man, you guys it's like America talking. It's like Voice of Reason is really the voice of America, because this is coming from all these different places. Y'all got these perspectives and people are learning something from it. Carrie Allington. Damn, man, tomorrow's gonna be a busy ass day. True monger. King, Joseph, I prefer to listen. I'm not a big talker. That's fine. Not everybody has to talk. I'm just talking about the people who got something to say that can resonate with the masses. That's what being on the radio does. You're on the airwaves, out into the ethers. Definitely a difference. Oh, shit. I see you, Davy Lee. I'm coming to you, fam.
Featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number, because Ray, he's going to text it live, and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
No, no, John, I don't.
ఏదో నా కుమారుడు గొప్ప ధనవంతుడు కావాలి, విద్యావంతుడు కావాలి, అధికారవంతుడు కావాలి, నిష్ఠుడు, ఇవంతా మనం కోరకూడదు. The mother should not say that my son should earn wealth. ఆ మాట మన ఏంటి ఉంటుంటే దైవమే పంపిస్తాడు. God will give it automatically if he deserves it. నువ్వు ప్రయత్నంతో సాధించేటువంటి ఏమాత్రం కూడా శాశ్వతం కాదు. Whatever you wish for is not something permanent. రావాలి. It should come automatically. కనుకనే ప్రతి మానవుడు కూడాను దైవము ప్రేమించాలి. So every person should love God. దైవ ప్రేమకు మించినటువంటి ప్రేమ మరొకటి లేదు. There's nothing beyond love for God. అది ఈనాడు మనం సాధించవలసినటువంటి సాధన. That is a sadhana, the effort that you should put on. We think we have got to achieve so many things. If you have got the desire to achieve anything, you try to gain the strong faith and love for God.
I love it. The sadhana is the term he used. Effort, right? Source is in you. You put the effort in to cultivate it. Now, my good friend who's on the line, I'm about to bring her back in here, Nikki from the SIP, was talking about the covenant with self. There's an effort that must be applied to that. Many of us have relationships inverted where the effort goes externally. It's supposed to be applied internally. He's saying the relationship that you're supposed to have is with God. That's what he said. Go. I don't want to finish. I want Nikki from the SIP to finish. Go ahead. Give us your final words here, the food for thought.
For some, that covenantal relationship would be their first opportunity to get God on the inside of them.
Ooh.
You got to be 10 toes down with that covenantal relationship, because that will stand for you when you can't stand for yourself. If you put that work in. But and just remember, just consider this. When you are shown images of somebody looting, that person is robbing from themselves and whatever other relationships they may be in, because they're in a place of need. That in and of itself suggests codependency. So codependency is self-robbery through self-avoidance. It can be. Lord. That's right, because you didn't put the contract in place so that you're not coming from that place of need. When the world tells you that you are crap, if you put that work in and get 10 toes down with that covenantal relationship, you may stay down for a minute, but you ain't gonna build no tent city and stay there. Wow. Because that covenant will send somebody, a demon, a girl in a red dress, a beautiful man, a child, and animals to remind you, you come from kings and queens. You can't do nothing. It's impossible. That's what that covenantal relationship will do for you. It will talk for you when you can't talk. When we go to the wood, that covenant gonna stand for you, or it's not. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love everybody. And guess what you just did, though? I brought the SIP in the building. The SIP is in the building because of Nikki. Look, Nikki is our Annie from Sinners. Is that which one was that? Smoke's girl. Yeah. Nikki is our Annie. Remember, Annie had that wisdom in that movie, Sinners. Now, I know a lot of our Christian family don't want to hear it, but Zoe Williams and the Voice of Reason is an equal opportunity space for all religious beliefs, which is why you'll hear Indian philosophers, you'll hear Christian pastors, Kojic Baptists, all of, you'll hear spiritualists, you'll hear all types of folk, because I believe truth is universal. I believe the foundational reality of all that is God, and God finds its way into everything. God sustains everything. This is why I will use so many different examples just to bring the point home. But we got callers still. My homeboy Davey Lee from Arkansas is in the building. Davey Lee, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Yes, sir, man. I just want to say this. I ain't going to make it long. Everybody want to be built like that, but not willing to build, man. You know, in order to build, you must either redirect certain things or destroy certain things. But ain't no other way around it. You know, so, everybody want to, be built, man, but they're not cut like that. And it's okay. It's okay. You just got to stay away from people.
Wow. So, hey, man, you know I love you, brother. I really do. And I appreciate every time you call in because guess what you do?
I just bring y'all to the sticks, man. I bring y'all to Arkansas, you hear me?
That's what I'm talking about, man. We get to go to the sticks every time Davey Lee calls in. Listen, if you want to bring your city into the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I want to say this. Of course, it was Memorial Day yesterday. And I wasn't on the air. I'm here now. But by Saturday, my relationship roundtable at the Miracle Theater will jump off. There are a few tickets still available. Myself and comedian Ray Grady will be on Tavis Smiley's radio show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I want y'all to tune in. Ray Grady and myself will be in the building to promote this event. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, do that now. All you have to do is go to themiracleinglewood.com. Purchase your tickets now. I promise you, you won't regret it. It's going to be an amazing show. It's like clinicians versus comedians. It's going to be so amazing. So much insight, so much laughter, so much healing. Call in. Well, don't call in. Come down to the Miracle and get your tickets or go online, themiracleinglewood.com. When I come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines. Hey, Ann Dizzle.
Yeah.
Man, can you do me a solid?
What's up?
I just want some water, man.
I got you.
Thank you, bro. Hey, Davey Lee. Yee yee. We appreciate it. My brother.
There you go.
You're a lifesaver, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. That's that high filtered water. That's high cotton. I had some. I had my tea, but I left it in the other room. I'm looking at it. This that quality H2O. Oh, yeah. Delicious. Nah, hell no. But I'm not above drinking tap water now. Why, and Zinga, you gonna watch what tomorrow? Bottled water is from the tap, for sure.
carefully about what you need from your partner to feel fulfilled. Needs that you can't meet yourself and that you can't go outside the relationship for. Make sure your expectations are reasonable and fair before you begin the discussion. For example, if you're treating your partner like a doormat and then wondering why he or she isn't doing that thing that you like, you're going to need to address that first. Once you're clear in your mind about what your needs are and you're certain they're reasonable, then you're going to have the conversation. In case you're not quite sure what needs are reasonable, then here's a list of examples. Trust, commitment, affection, appreciation, empathy, friendship, satisfying sex, compromise, respect, quality time, kindness, generosity. If any of those things are missing from your relationship, then you have a right to ask for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason back in the building. Again, tonight's topic has been one of those ones, a doozy. I love it. Right after, it was a Memorial Day. That was the weekend. Yes, right after the weekend, man. It was great. And now I'm back in here cooking at the stove again. Listen, I love bringing my callers in here. One of our favorites is on the line. And of course, we have to acknowledge him. He's our brother. He's your brother. He's from South Central Los Angeles. JW in the building. What up, JW?
Yay. I'm going to land this plane real quick, bro.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it real simple. In reference to what the sister said, we got to be connected to the true vine. And when you're connected to the true vine, that's when you know what love is. And when you love someone like you're supposed to love yourself and your mate, and you equally yoked, then that's the key right there. In the story, done data. And if you don't buy into the world system concept and bring the outside source and let the world sell you a dream or a fantasy or a lie or false value or false worth, you follow my point? I just landed on that aircraft carrier. I'm done data.
Hey, we love you, man. You already know that, man. And the next event that I'm at and you there, man, we gotta shake hands, brother. I so appreciate you calling in, man.
What time can you come tomorrow? Tomorrow, it's in Miracle Lounge, but I'm not able to. The one after that, the next one, I'm gonna make certain I introduce myself to you.
Yes, sir. And Tavis is tomorrow, and then my event with Ray Grady is this coming Saturday, the 31st.
Oh, the following week. Okay, my bad. Okay,
No, it's this week. It's this week Saturday. So I expect to see you at the Miracle Theater so I can shake your hand, brother. Let's get it done. J-Dub, guess what you just did?
Ball South Central inside the house. Right?
Yes, sir. South Central is in the house. And again, as I just told JW, hey, tickets are going, so I want you guys to get on that right now. Go to themiracleinglewood.com to come to my special relationship roundtable with comedians and clinicians. I'm telling you, nothing like this has ever happened before. It's going to be amazing. I want you guys to get your tickets now. All right, let's just get to it. Symbiotic neediness challenges all the established views on attachment, desire, and relational health. It invites us to question whether our yearning for closeness reveals a type of hidden self-therapy, a bid to mend inner fissures through external validation while simultaneously perpetuating cycles of emotional dependency. Now, rather than accepting neediness as an abnormality, one may consider it a complex interplay of neurobiology, early life experiences, and cultural narratives where the desire for intimacy transforms into a double-edged sword, right? Empirical research on the vagus nerve and hormonal regulation right, brings a physiological dimension, suggesting that the body's responses to stress, anxiety, and neglect might intertwine with what we label as clinginess or codependency. Again, sure, all of these things can come from childhood, sure. But I'm going to posit this. Whatever came from childhood will continue to rule your life if you don't start practicing self-reflection, right? My good friend Nikki from the SIP said something that was quite profound. And she was talking about this covenancy with self, the covenant with self. I don't, like I said, I think clinical psychology is going to catch up or going to align with spirituality at some point. But remember, the ancients in every religious belief system talked about a particular state of consciousness where one merges with the reality of God, meaning your sense of the small g, the small you, the egoic you, dissolves into the big G, right? How is it that we can individuate, self-realize, self-actualize, find nirvana? The Buddhists call it moksha. The Christians call it Christ consciousness. Listen, how is it that we can reach that state and still need something from somebody else? See, that's why I brought up the psychological edge. The psychological edge. Everybody has needs, and to be in a healthy relationship, those needs need to be fulfilled. You got to fulfill this, and you got to fulfill. Listen, right? The covenancy of self, and I'm not talking about narcissistic tendencies. I'm talking about this individuation process, where one nurtures the whole self, right? Nurturing your whole self, marrying yourself. What are you saying? That's individuation, where you marry the shadow to the mask. There has to be self-nuptials. You got to jump the broom with you before you seek to jump the broom with someone else. Can you imagine how many characters and actors and performers are just performing their relationship because it's cheaper to keep him or her? You've heard that before, right? You've heard it's cheaper to keep her, but it's all, there are women out there making a lot of money too. It's cheaper to keep him. Depending on the state you in. Are you in a community property state? Is it 50-50? It's cheaper to keep him or her. Do you see? So because you're under that kind of pressure, for some, there might be this desire to perform. We're talking about something very heavy here, and I think people tend to miss the jewel of intimate relationship. Intimate relationship can lead you to God. You can't serve selflessly until you purge the demands and the expectations out of your spirit. No one can give you enough to fill you up. I'm sorry. Listen, I start the conversations. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I can't wait till this weekend to do this relationship roundtable. It's going to be so amazing. I want everyone to show up, all right? I want everybody to show up in Los Angeles. Get there. I know black people like to show up the night of, dressed up, suited and booted. Y'all get there, okay? Listen, I start the conversation, you finish it. The voice of reason will be back here tomorrow with another slapper. Deuces. Great show tonight. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Nikki from the SIP. Everybody that called. My brother John. Davey Lee, J-Dub. Everybody that called. Everyone that called. Love, 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 love. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Deuces.